So it turns out somebody has called Donald Trump a fraud in the past, and those people that have done it have not fared very well. Of course, that was a primary. This will be a general election. Karl Rove joins us now. He says he's the ultimate counterpuncher, right? So now he is being attacked directly by Mrs. Clinton. It will be next hour. What do you think? Will this work, this line of attack from Clinton?
Well, first of all, there are going to be several lines of attack. She made one line of attack yesterday, which was on Trump U, calling him a fraud. My suspicion today is that in her speech on foreign policy, she's given out hints before that she's going to basically call him reckless when it comes to the issue of nuclear arms. And look, we don't know whether this is going to pan out over the long haul. I'll make three quick points, though. One is, Trump cannot be content to say, well, it didn't work in the primary, it's not going to work in the general election. 6% of the electorate turned out and voted thus far in the Republican primaries. Just under 3% of the total electorate has supported Donald Trump. That means 97% of the electorate either didn't vote in the Republican primaries or didn't vote for Donald Trump. That's a big chunk of people, and even a small impact among those people could be problematic. Second of all, is that, look, calling somebody names is one thing, but the question is how much information will Secretary of State Clinton or the media add to these various charges? Like Trump U, I think, is going to be a little bit of a problem because we're reading about it in the newspapers, and there's some new information that people haven't heard before. And finally, what is it that people already think that they know that they might be concerned about Donald Trump on? You saw it in the Quinnipiac poll. They favor him in dealing with ISIS by a 49-41 margin, 8-point margin. They think Donald Trump is better at handling ISIS than Hillary Clinton is. But by I think it was a 12-point margin, 50-33, they believe that she's better at handling nuclear weapons, issues of our nuclear arsenal. So
that's her point.
The question is, what are they going to play on?
On reckless is a word you used. I know dangerous, synonym is what maybe she'll use today from what some of her aides have been talking about. But the point is the same. You're going to say he's reckless. You're going to say he's dangerous. He's already getting ahead of that. I'll just show you a quick tweet from Donald Trump about 10 minutes ago or so. With all of the crooked Hillary, crooked Hillary Clinton's foreign policy experience, she has made, he says, so many mistakes. And I mean real monsters, exclamation point. No more HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton. So the real monster. So if you're Trump, you know, we just cut through his 140 characters or less, Karl, and you look at the Libya, I guess, is what he's going to, I mean, obviously Benghazi, but it seems like he's going to go back to Libya a lot when he talks foreign policy against her.
Well, I think that the American Crossroads, the super PAC I've been involved with, has been doing a lot of research on Clinton. What's interesting is, if you make the broad charge, our foreign policy, our international relations are in bad shape, they will blame Obama more than they will blame her. But if you go after her and say, you know, she lied to us about Benghazi, she blamed it on a video. She turned down the request of our ambassador for security. You know, it was on her watch that they turned down his request for the people who could have kept him alive. And if you say she lied to the parents of those who fell, those kind of specifics have a real big impact on their overall vision of her. But simply saying, you know, we've made a lot of mistakes, they basically say, you know what, we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. We'll blame Obama for that. We'll give her a pass. So you got to be very specific and very focused, and have a lot of information to back up. And I think the Libya, Benghazi, the failure to provide security, all of these things are really good elements.
Well, that is interesting in the specific element of it that you bring up, because it does play into what we've seen in the other polling in terms of, you know, being honest and being trustworthy. And this is just specific to foreign policy. So there clearly are points to be scored here, right? So.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, the emails is another thing that gets to the heart of, she put our national security at risk by relying upon a private server in her basement of her home in Chappaqua, New York, to conduct the nation's most secret discussions about international affairs, which is why I was concerned last week when the IG report came out. That was a perfect moment for Trump to make a detailed, you know, she lied to you when she said this was permitted. She lied to you when she said she turned it all over. She lied to you when she said nothing classified passed through that server, and on. But instead, he just simply said it's a bad report for her, very bad. She's got a lot to account for. And people want him to make the specific argument, because remember, this is a process not only saying she did a bad thing, but it's arming your supporters with information that they can use in their daily lives to say, this is a reason why I'm for him and why I'm against her.
All right, Karl, thanks as always. We always appreciate your insight. Thanks for joining us today.